Hi and welcome, Kat from Sacred Soul Rising. So one thing that happens to you when you are catapulted onto the twin flame journey is a spontaneous Kundalini. For lifetimes, people have searched out a guru to help them connect in with that Kundalini and activate a Kundalini. But you, beautiful soul, when you are catapulted onto the twin flame journey, you spontaneously have a Kundalini. Kundalini can feel disorientating, can feel painful and scary, and not understanding what is actually happening to you. A spontaneous Kundalini is fast and intense. When the Kundalini awakens, and what I want to explain to you is, Kundalini lays dormant at the base of your spine. It is gifted to you at birth. It is your life force energy. And often people will say to me, Kat, my Kundalini feels so powerful, too big for me. I want you to know that this is your life force energy. It cannot be too big for you. It is you at your very being. Kundalini is your Shakti energy. It is the serpent that lays at the base of your spine in a coiled, dormant state. On a spontaneous Kundalini, she awakens, and penetrates and dances through each of your chakras. Your chakras are spinning vortexes of your life force energy. Now, as we go through life and through conditioning, through people saying things, through thoughts and feelings and emotions and situations that you move through life, they can become clogged and murky. So those times in maybe your teenage years when you don't feel enough, or you're told how to act, you're told how to be, or somebody bullies you or makes you feel small or not enough, or somebody does something with the ego mind to the ego mind that makes you feel in a really low and depressed state, your chakra system can become clogged and murky. On awakening, on a spontaneous Kundalini, Shakti starts to dissipate out all that lower frequency because it is connecting you now back to your original soul blueprint. You are now surrendering to your higher self, where you have spent most of your life leading a very carbon-based, very matrix way and mind and ego way of living. You are now catapulted into a soul-led way of living, and you now are surrendering over to the higher self. Now, to go through a spontaneous Kundalini can feel very intense. The energy and your life force energy is thrown and catapulted up through your chakra system, where it then reaches your crown chakra and over and out of like a shower throughout the whole energetic system. Now, what I do want to say is it can feel physically painful. It can knock you off your feet, and it can make you question everything about your very being. Often when you are going through this, things start to slip away, things start to dissipate. So maybe old relationships, friendships, career, hobbies that you used to do, interests, suddenly your whole world is turned upside down. And like in the tarot, it feels like that tower moment where everything is crumbling. You also feel extremely disorientated, not understanding this powerful energy that is pulsating through every single part of your very being and activating all your chakras. So suddenly your base and root chakra obviously connects you to your safety and security. Suddenly you question everything about your safety and your security and where you live and how you start to really show up in the world. You see, this journey then will activate you. Instead of being service to self, i.e. thinking about solely paying the mortgage, solely paying the bills, you are then activated into service of others. You are then activated into service of the planet and making the world a better place. This can feel very confusing when your soul is calling to you. And a lot of the time on this journey, things happen and you will question it from a mind and ego. But whenever you question it from the mind and ego, it will make no sense. How do you move through a Kundalini? How do you start to work with Kundalini? Well, the first thing that you need to do is stop fighting that Kundalini energy. Stop trying to put it into mind and ego. Allowing that Kundalini to move through each of the chakra systems. So as I said, the base and root is about safety, security, finances. The sacral chakra will question you at what you do. Suddenly you will want to align with your soul purpose. You will have this creative energy within you, and you will need to move and create and really connect in with that purpose and that mission. On the solar plexus, it will start to have you questioning all those big emotions that rise, whereas before you've been able to dampen them down, push them away and put them in a box. Now you can no longer. Every fear, every emotion that you have ever felt is now staring you in the face. So if you have felt abandonment in your lifetime, now abandonment will be shone down in all its brightest and furious energy. If you have feared not feeling enough and and needing validation, this will show up. You see, Shakti is there to bring all the shadow aspect to the forefront. So you no longer have that shadow. So you no longer have those fears. So you can raise in your state of consciousness. If you can raise into that beautiful energetic being that you came here to be. That love of that heart chakra energy, that when she starts to penetrate that heart chakra, you will realize that all that energy and love you've been pushing onto another, you now have to bring it back to self. And you are always aligning with unconditional love for self, with showing up for self in all your fullness. You see, one of the things that Divine Feminine often does and has done throughout lifetimes is always put other people's needs before their own. In this frequency, when the heart is really activated, you now have to find that unconditional love for self. Shakti will not allow you to dismiss yourself any longer. And in doing this, it activates the throat chakra. The throat chakra is all about speaking truth to self. So you have to take ownership. You have to take accountability. And let me tell you, Divine Feminines are not great at taking accountability for self. For others, yes, they will always take accountability. But for self, they often push this away. This is sometimes the last part of the healing process that they go through, taking accountability for their own needs, for their own coming into their own divine power and reclaiming their light. Once it reaches the third eye is those beautiful gifts, those psychic gifts, the sage, the seer, the healer, the way shower, the manifester, the grid line worker, the ley lines. Once this activates, then you are called into purpose. You feel all those beautiful clairs get turned on. You will have a deep inner knowing. You will have a deep purpose. And this is normally when that way shower becomes really strong within you. Those gifts are so activated that you can now no longer ignore them. And everything that has happened throughout your lifetimes all bring in this beautiful energy as that light leader, as that way shower, as that incredible, beautiful soul that is no longer here to serve self, but is here to be in service as that way shower in the planet, in the ley lines, and is able to move through that beautiful light codes and that light frequency. Once it reaches that crown, well, that crown connects us to oneness, to divine source frequency, to divine energy. And at that point, that Kundalini, we are now working with that Kundalini. We are no longer fighting it. We realize that now we are on the journey to enlightenment. And we now are living from a different, higher perspective. In shamanic energy, we often call it's from the place of the eagle. The eagle always sees from the top of the mountains and sees things from that beautiful high perspective. Once you are activated within that crown chakra, you are no longer seeing things from a lower victim energy. You see it from the higher perspective. You realize that you now are that beautiful light being, and your frequency affects the whole planet. A spontaneous Kundalini happens on a twin flame awakening. It awakens you to your power. It awakens you to your divine force. It is not easy to go through. It feels intense. It feels painful. The energy and the movement of that Kundalini can feel like a steam train moving through you. But I want you to know that if you work with that energy and allow Shakti to guide you, the journey becomes easier. If you need more help and support on your journey, my website is there. Everything is on there to help and support you, whether it is that you are activated into being that soul coach, that way shower, that light leader, the seer, the mystic, the psychic, or you are here as that healer. If you are that beautiful divine feminine that is feeling that you are going through that spontaneous Kundalini and you need a deeper understanding, everything is on my website to help and support you understand it from a lot deeper energy, so you can have that deep inner knowing and relax in and allow that energy to flow through you to bring you into that higher state of consciousness. I send you so much love, many blessings.